Hello, listeners. Welcome to another episode of The Product Life. This is your host, Apoorv Civil from BestViewsReviews, where we give you the unbiased rankings and ratings for top products in 8,000 plus categories. We have recently launched a new feature called Magic Quadrant, which defines different brands according to 4 axes. One of them is great leaders. Do check them out when you are making your next purchase decision. So today we have with us Paul. So Paul, thank you so much for joining. Would you mind introducing yourself?
My name is Paul Hill. I am the CEO of M.A.D Tronics, an augmented reality production type company.
So Paul, how did you come to start a augmented reality company? That's not a common career path.
I started in film production, and my son was learning gaming, how to create games. And I thought that was really fascinating. And so I just stuck my head in just a little bit to see how it's the process of it. And I really loved it. So I thought that I would implement that as well as my film production, implement that into one of my skills.
Wow, makes sense. So could you tell us a little bit more about your company, about your product?
So we do 2 augmented reality type products. One is augmented reality board games that we create, and the other is the augmented reality headgear that we've created ourselves that actually works underwater. So those are the 2 products that we're mainly focused on right now.
Got it. So first talking about the second product, the headgear that you have created. So how is it different from other major headgears in the market like Oculus? You mentioned it works underwater. So is that like one of the only products that does that?
So some of the differences compared to other headgears that's out there right now is, like I said, ours work underwater. So you can go underwater and have interactive challenges with the AR. Also, it's the headphones are actually separated. So you can use it as regular headphones as Bluetooth. And it's probably the only Bluetooth headphone right now that can actually be submerged for about 12 feet for 5 hours.
Wow. And could you give me a use case where someone would actually want to use AR underwater?
So the great thing is we're starting to focus on business to business. So hotels, resorts, because most of the time people go to the hotel, the swimming pool it's fun to be in the swimming pool, but it's even better when you can interact with sharks or dolphins or fish while you're at the hotel swimming pool.
Got it. Wow, that sounds like an experience. So could you tell us a little bit more about your board game?
So the AR board game, we got the idea from a TV show that we created. It's the first augmented reality competition TV show. And so after we filmed 12 episodes, we were like, man, we really want to do more with the AR. So I was like, let's just make some board games with it. And so we came up with a couple of ideas on some board games based on the AR challenges from the show. And we ran with about 4 of those. And one of them is action adventure, the other is fantasy, and then 2 of them are AR sports, basketball and soccer. So we wanted to try to roundabout get a decent sized audience that would be interested, and we wanted to make these board games just really fun and just something that would really bring it to life.
Got it. So that's actually quite interesting. So given that FIFA is currently going on, so how does one play soccer in AR?
So what we have is for this particular game, it's a target image AR, and so the person would use their cell phone and they would point it down at a target image, and a soccer ball would appear, and then they would either kick it or try to throw it with their hands and try to score against the goalie. There's like an augmented goalie that's there to block them.
Got it. And so the augmented ball that appears, uh, so can you just like walk me through how would you hold the phone and kick at the same time?
Yeah. So when you're holding the phone, you could actually just hold it with one hand if you want to, and you can use the other hand if you were like if you wanted to use your hand. Otherwise, you would have the target image right there in front of you on the floor, and all you have to do is kick right in front of the target image while you're holding the phone down, and the soccer ball will fly away. And then as you raise up your phone, you'll see the goalie trying to catch the ball or miss it or whatever the case may be.
Wow, that sounds quite interesting. So, is it similar to Pokemon Go?
It's not similar to Pokemon Go. We are working on a game that's similar to Pokemon Go. With Pokemon Go, you have the GPS, the Google GPS that works on that with Pokemon Go, and other type stuff. But this one is just basically just your phone and the app that you would download to your phone for the game. But yeah, we are actually working on a game that's called it's a scavenger hunt game that we're trying to set up for the city of San Francisco right now to play.
Wow, sounds really cool. So, what were the other two games that you mentioned?
So so we have the soccer. We also have the basketball, AR basketball, and so there's an augmented reality basketball player. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to block his shots, and then as part of the game, in another part of the game, you're trying to make free throws. And then there's the fantasy games.
Yeah, could you tell me a little bit more about the fantasy games?
So the fantasy game is we have one which is called Atlantean Shark Shores. And the Atlantean Shark Shores is basically what it is that one is AR markless. So you don't need a target image for that one. All you have to do is point your phone down to the ground. There's a graph that'll appear. You touch the graph, and then these sharks will appear, and then all you have to do is just try to hit the screen to kill them.
Got it. And what is the second one?
And then the other one is it's more of an action adventure board game. That one is pretty fun. So with that one, there's actually several things that is happening with that one. You're basically traveling through a jungle, so you have to fight some alligators. Another one, you might be swimming through the ocean, so you have to dodge the bite of a shark. And then the last one is trying to kill some scorpions.
Wow, all three sound quite interesting. Nice. So,
yeah,
like you mentioned that you're working to create underwater experiences. So, is one of the fantasy games that you mentioned earlier is that a part of those experiences, the interacting with sharks and dolphins experience that you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, so with the like I was saying, the TV show, our competition, there's land competitions and there's underwater competitions that you're actually underwater to compete. And so we took that idea for the board game. So you're not underwater. You could actually play this board game underwater though. It's waterproof. So, but yeah, so we got the board game to where you can somewhat have an experience. Not actually being underwater, but if you wanted to, you could actually be underwater and play the game and get a full experience of the sharks or the alligators or whatever the case may be. But other than that, yeah, it's just all kind of designed from the TV show and then just implemented in a simpler way for the board game.
Wow, sounds really, really interesting. So if people want to try out this game, where can they actually get it?
Well, they can buy the board game right now. If they go to our website, they're able to purchase the board game. The first two, the fantasy one and the action adventure one. The fantasy one, the Atlantean Shark Shores, or the other one, which is AR Dangerous Artifacts. And so the AR Dangerous Artifacts works on your Android as well as your iPhone, but the Atlantean one only works on right now just Android.
Got it. And to download this, can they purchase this directly from the Android Play Store or the?
For the Android one, we actually send you the link to just download it to your phone, and for the iPhone, they just go to the App Store.
Got it. Makes sense. Wow, this is actually really, really, really exciting to get to know more about AR games. Thank you.
Because AR it's becoming a big thing. It's the everyone's moving towards realistic entertainment.
Yep, makes sense. Seems like this is the future. So thank you so much, Paul, for coming on our episode. It was great getting to know you and the AR games.
Thank you so much for having me.